Everybody, greetings from the garage. So I've finished my transit van. Well, I've finished the stage one part of my transit van, which is the rear, the interior rear. So let's take a look now. I'm going to show you the front first. Okay, we'll open the front door. Okay, so I've fitted in here. This has got the same seats as the rear. If you've seen my earlier videos, you'll watch me fabricate the bases to put these in. They're super comfortable out of a Peugeot 3008. So I've got up here LED lights. I've fitted LED lights. I've not put LED bulbs in. I've simply fitted proper LED lights in there and done the wiring for them. I can switch that on and off as well if I want to do, so if it's too bright. I just feel that it needs some good bright lights to get in here. So also this can turn off if I want to, or I can turn it on the go. I'll switch it off at the moment. I've kept my little mood lighty bulbs in there. I may swap those to LEDs, I don't know, because the switches are shocking on these. I've kept those in there because I think it just gives it a nice tone if you need that, if you don't need that bright light. So they're for map reading, but not that anyone reads maps anymore. It's all Google Maps now, isn't it? But these switches are shocking, aren't they? Anyway, I'll put that back to how it should be. I'll switch him on as well. I'll show you the rear. Okay, so I've fitted LED courtesy lights in down there. They're wired to the ceiling lights, so they will go off after so long, but it's good for if you're approaching this in the dark, you don't smash your shins on the side of the van getting into it. I've also got a step, a fold-out step from my old van, which I'm going to fit in underneath. I just want to restore it first. It's a bit battered. I'm going to also put a stainless steel strip across there, because last time I had an aluminium one, it got battered as well with getting in and out. But stainless steel one should be nice and strong. I will do that. I've actually forgotten about doing that. So I've not got the seats in yet, not got the main lights on. I'm going to put the main lights on in a minute. Up there we've got LED lights for the courtesy lights. It's actually brighter in person than it is on camera. It makes it look really bad on camera because they're quite bright and they just do reflect. Okay, these are the same lights which I've fitted in the front. I've removed the original ones because they're crap. They don't really do anything. But LED ones will last longer, obviously, and they lose less power from the main battery. So let's put the main light on. Main light's on. There we go. Check that out. Nice and bright, isn't it? So I've got one switch in there. I do want to actually put a two-way switch in and probably fit that on the rear somewhere. So if I open the back doors, obviously, if I open my back doors, I can put the lights on without having to run around here. Love them bright, them. LED again, so they're not going to use too much juice from the batteries. But I've got 3 batteries under there, and I'll show you that in a moment. That's where my electric, so I like to keep things hidden away. We'll show you the lights first. So if I turn these off, I've got just up here some passenger spotlights, and they will move anywhere. Pretty cool, those. I've got another one over here as well. I wish these courtesy lights from the rear would go off. Got another one there, and again, you could shine that so you can find your beer or anything like that. There you go. Put my main lights on. I've also got myself a little, I don't drink Stella Artois, but I've got a bottle opener there and my little cup holder as well for my bottles. My fridge is up here, so my fridge is cooling at the moment. I've only just put it on. It was at 22 degrees, now at 18. Sorry, I just had to stop recording them because on camera those numbers look like they're dancing all over the place, but it's actually stable. It's just the LED lights on the camera. I wonder what was going on then. Let's have a look inside it. Right, so it's not massive, but I've taken out the shelves and left one shelf in, because if we're going anywhere, I want leave some milk in for a brew or anything like that. We don't want it to be on its side, so there's a lot of space in there to put other things in to keep cool in there. It's not bad actually. There's a nice cold breeze coming from it. It's going to take a while to get that temperature down. Obviously me opening that door is not going to help, but we'll leave it. It's gone up to 19 now already, look. So there's a lock on the top of there. If I've got, basically safety this is, if I've got that fully loaded with stuff in there like beer or whatever we have in it if we're going away, I don't want this flying open, alright, so I've put that lock on the top. I can actually put a padlock on there if I want to, so no one steals my beer. It's got a lock on the top of that, so when we pull up anywhere, I don't really need it to be on there permanently. I can open and close the fridge as I please, but if we're travelling, then that lock goes on there. It's not hard to fit. There's also a little light so you can find it in the dark. Down here, I've got myself a table. From the outside, it looks like a fridge, but it's actually a table. So I've also got a spring-loaded catch on there, just like on a fridge. So anything that opens and closes, I've put these these little catches and latches on there, so we don't fly open when we're driving. Okay. All you do is flip up that, lift up the handle, and inside here we've got a big metal shaft. So we remove the big metal shaft. We take the metal shaft and we slot it into the hole under there, and there you go, you've got yourself a table. So we now have a table, and that's how this works. We'll show that again when I've got my seating, because it's really good that when you've got a seat in there you can move it over. I've not got a table over this side. I might think of something where I can put one in here, but it'll have to be concealed. I don't like things on show. I like things to be stealthy and hidden away. But that's pretty cool. That metal shaft thing there will support it very well. So under here, while we've got this open, I'll show you my electrical compartment. So I've got my light on here. There you can see everything now. So I've got a solar charger down there. It's a cheaper one, is that. I'm going to put a better one in future. I've had this for a while. I've got my 2500 watt pure sine wave power inverter there. I wrapped it with this stainless wrap stuff so it looks a little bit neater. I've got my fuse board in there. I've got my Stirling power charger. I've got my circuit breakers all there ready to go. Circuit breaker there for the solar charger. They're all on, off, and they work fine. I've also got well, this panel comes off as well, so if I need to do any servicing on the electrics, anything like that, fuses below, I can remove that panel if I need to get to it, but I can also get to this just by removing that. There you go, all my fuses are in there. All that fuse board is fully, it's rammed. It's got every slot is taken up, but all these wires in here, they're not all live. Some of them are just coiled up in places in the van. Different size wiring, different gauge wiring for things that are going to fit in the future. Okay, so we'll put this down now. So what I'll be doing in reverse is remove the shaft, place the shaft back in its little house, switch on light on as well, and we shut that down. And there you go, the table is away. Oh, I've not showed you my batteries, have I actually? I'll show you my batteries. So my batteries are under here. This comes off, and it does come out of there if I need to get the batteries out. I can also remove this panel and remove this box so the whole thing comes out. I've got two leisure batteries in there. They are wired in parallel. You can wire these in series or parallel. Again, that's more tech stuff. I might just have a little bit of a chat about that later on anyway. So the batteries are in there. I've also got under here, I've got my other battery just under there. 3 is enough. I was going to have 4 actually, but 3 is enough. I can fit another couple of batteries just under there. I'll show you the back in a minute. So I've got another little compartment in here. I've not finished this compartment. It's a bit messy in here actually. So I'm going to cover the back of that up, and I'm going to cover that back wall as well with some more soundproofing. This I can get straight down the back of all my electrics in here, so if I need to pull any more wiring in, anything like that, I can get my hand down there and detach any of this stuff, this equipment. There's some wiring in there which is not connected to anything. It's just coiled up and unfused, so that wiring there is just for in case I want to fit anything in the front later down the line. It's there if I need it. Close that away like that now. There we go. Okay, so I'll put my table away now for the minute. So again, remove the shaft, place the shaft inside here, clip him down, and close. There we go. Just like that, okay? Right, moving on then, I've got compartments here, little passenger compartments. You want to stash things away, anything you want in there. I've got light switches on both of them, so you can see what's inside. Wine glass holders as well, you can put wine glasses in there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I've also got a little compartment in here. Keys for my transit there, a little compartment in there. I've made use of any of the space, okay? I've also got a little secret compartment. Well, it was a secret, it's not now, is it? So little compartment here if I want to stash anything in there, a little lock on it so it doesn't flap around when I'm driving. It's also got its own independent light in there. Excuse my hand. So here, in here there is a motorcycle clutch switch which I've attached to the cabinet here, so when you close that lid it turns it off. Motorcycle clutch switch, a good little gimmick that. Close him down. Moving on here, I'll just go and open my back doors before I show you my rear end, okay? So So moving on to my rear end, I've just opened my back doors. This is what it looks like inside my rear from the back end. I've got another box here. It's latched down again, one of those spring-loaded latches, so nothing flies out. And I put some carpet tile in there so it's nice and padded and comfortable. That latches down just like that. Sockets as well, I've got 2 sockets there. I've got a double socket here. We've got some more compartments down here. They've got lights in them. There's a light up there as well, and there's another little storage space up top here. I am thinking of putting a stereo up here actually. I've got wiring run round for speakers to be fitted in the doors and possibly in the ceiling when I do the ceiling on the van, and putting like a stereo head unit in there, so it'll be a separate one to the front. I might do that later actually, but the wiring's there ready for it, and the power wiring as well. So that's ready for another switch. It actually has a switch on there, but I've robbed it for something else. I've run out of switches. This is going to go up here to some dead wiring up there, so that will run to some more wiring, which is going to go for spotlights on the roof. I've not fitted those yet, so that's something to come later. This is the back of the fridge. I've modified this entire fridge, so I've put some parts from another cool box on there to keep it going. I've also got a switch there, so there's an additional fan. That's slowing down now. Put that on there for extra cooling. I put the additional fan switch in there just in case it's a little bit too noisy, because that one is a noisy fan. If I'm sat in here, I want a little bit of peace and quiet or anything like that, I can turn that off. It will still help keep the fridge cool. A little bit of space here so I can get to my lights if I need to change the bulbs. That's most important. Make sure I can get to anything for maintenance. Another little stash place down there. So in here, these 2 shelves, I've got this one here for some more electrics. Need to put some carpet tile on that for to do that. It's a bit ugly. So I've got more electrical stuff down there. Also space in here for stashing things. I've also made this out of aluminium. I've attached it in there. It's a little aluminium collar with some Velcro strap in there, so it keeps the seat belt from dropping down to one side, because that was a problem as well. The seat belts were just flopping over and you had to dig for it and find it. But that all works fine. I've tested it all out anyway. Same with the other side. And I've made another one there, just these little anchors so it doesn't flop around. Right, I'll get my seats in. So this one is the easy one because it folds down. And that's it. That seat's in there, nice and solid, won't move anywhere. I'll show you another little feature. This is a very important feature because I've welded in some Isofix. I've made those Isofix brackets, I've tested as well, so it does work. I would have thought these Peugeot 3008 seats would have had Isofix in them, but they don't. Anyway, they're in there now for our little Bebo, so this is where he's going to be sitting. This seat also, like I said, it may not look like it does, but it does recline fully back if you're a little passenger in there and you want to have a little sleep while we're travelling. Get the other passenger seat in. They've got wheels on the bottom as well, so that's pretty cool. They don't ruin the floor. And there you go. So what do you reckon? Pretty good, isn't it? So I'll show you the table as well now. So your passenger seat belts work fine. Clip that in there. Nice and comfortable. My seat goes back. Lift that up. Remove the big metal shaft. Stick it in its slot. Got myself a table all nice, and got my USB chargers here. 2 USB chargers, the same at that side as well, just down there. And again, my courtesy light. Seatbelt works as well. So tested that out. Drop this back now. Pretty good, isn't it? I'll pop him away, so remove the shaft. Shaft away in there. Close the table down. Alright, I did originally, I painted it with truck bed liner, and I've clear coat it with 2K clear coat, so it's fuel resistant, solvent resistant. But I've opted for a stainless steel worktop, so stainless steel top on it. It does look better in my opinion. Plus, I can, if it gets damaged or anything like that, I can just replace it and put another top on it. I'm going to also put stainless steel, real stainless steel, on top of both these surfaces, because I don't like this. It looks good on camera, but it scratches very easy. I can scratch it with my nail, and also it won't stay down. It bubbles up on the corners there. It looks a little bit tatty, so I'm going to get rid of that. Right, so the seats, they both move forward and backwards. And they also, there's a little pump handle there, so if you want to, you can't see it on camera, but these will go higher and lower, depending how long your legs are, stuff like that. So the headrests as well, these are really, really comfy headrests. One thing about French cars, I must admit, they have the comfiest seats, okay, and that's one of the reasons why I've chose these Peugeot seats. All right, the headrests are brilliant. You see this design on the headrests here. Most cars and vans and seats, when you sit on them, you put your head back, you feel like your head's pointing to the ceiling, but these, it's right there when you put your head back. They're so comfortable, these headrests. I love them. That's one of the reasons why I got these seats. But I do love this pattern as well. It's like a frosted camouflage pattern which I've got on them. It's pretty cool, that. Right, moving on to the rear. So again, I'm going to put a stainless steel strip on there. I totally forgot about that. I will do it. There's still storage space in the back here. If we go off anywhere for the weekend or the week traveling, I can just put put luggage in there, anything like that. I'm also going to make some additional boxes which mount in here. I will get like a rubber mat which covers the floor if we get a little doggy, anything like that, you know. Keeps the carpet tiles nice and neat. So I will get some car mats for it, because they can get damaged, these, and they're easy to replace, these carpet tiles, so it's better than vinyl. If I've got vinyl in here, you can imagine me getting dirt bikes in and out of it, stuff like that. It's going to rip it up to pieces. You've got to replace a whole lot. But the carpet tiles, you can't see them where they're joined. Good quality of these, but I can pull individual tiles up and replace it with another one. I've got some spares of this as well. Anyway, so I'm going to test out the electrics with a few items in a minute, but I'll just remove these seats, show you how they remove, because they're pretty easy to get out. To release them, I've got my additional strap in here for the front. That won't release until they're fully forward. So I've got this bar, this bar in here to release these two catches. When they're fully down and you're driving, I want to turn this bar up, and I'm going to put another little clip on there to hold it. So if that's in this position, twisted upwards, it can't release. If something crashes into it, collides into it, or luggage, anything like that, it won't knock the seat up, so it won't release, okay. Alternatively, so when I want to remove these seats, I simply just lift that up. I can then pull this to release the jaws, as they have done, and I can also pull on this so I don't get my arm trapped underneath, and those jaws are released now, so the seat will come out. Just like that, they come out. Oh, it's fine. This is the awkward one, this one. See, this one's the easier one, this is. Because it falls down just like that. I do want some grab handles on these so I can pick up easier. And there you go, it's back to a van again. So I've not shut the door actually, haven't I? Had a look what it's like with the door shut. And okay, so let's try my power out, see what items I can run from this beast. So I've got myself a compressor fridge, angle grinder, a vacuum cleaner. I could load it up with more items, but you know, it's just basic things that do require a lot of juice to get going. So the vacuum cleaner works perfect. It's plugged in there, look. So I can clean my van. Also, I've got muck all over that already from being out of it. There we go, vacuum cleaner. It ties in Dyson rubbish. Angle grinder as well. Works perfect, just like that. Power tool. Turn off, it's bloody noisy. Compressor fridge here. This is a brilliant little compressor fridge, this. If you have a camper, can hear it running. It actually creates ice. That is cold already, this fridge. I love it. We've taken this away with us many times, and actually before in my van before I did all this, I had those 3 batteries running, and I ran that fridge actually for like a week without charging the van up, with no solar power on it. It ran for a week, that fridge. It was just on setting 4 there, and it had ice inside it as well. But yeah, it ran for a week and didn't flatten those 3 batteries at all. So it's a good little thing to have, that Russell Hobbs one. I'm advertising all these brands of products here what you can use in your van, aren't I? Right, we're going to get rid of these items now, and I'll show you a few more little things. Okay, so just down here, hidden away behind the fuel filler cap, I've got an Anderson connector. I'm going to call it an Andrews connector. Anderson connector. I've used these quite a lot. They're pretty good. So just under there where it's hidden, there we have it. All right, so if I take this cable here, which is just a temporary cable I've knocked up, I can actually plug that in and charge. It's wired to my charger at the moment. I'm going to explain what I'm going to do with this in a minute. It's a little charge that for a motorbike, trickle charge. It's not that powerful, but I've got that big one there, which if I want to put any real juice down here. I'm going to put solar on the roof. We'll go into that in a moment again. So this Anderson connector here, I can actually put power in and take power out. What I can do with that, I'm going to attach this to a box I will make, which will have a power inverter in it and some electrical outlets, so I can actually use the van as a power station. So I can actually, if we're camping, anything like that, we've got a tent, I can get power from the van, or I can actually plug into it, like I said, and keep the batteries charged. Back to the interior. Security on the van. Okay, so I've got some security features in here, which I'll go into in a moment. I've got lots to go into in a moment. One thing about security is I've got everything battened down tightly, so all these main structures are actually bolted to the metalwork frame of the van. They're not just screwed into the floor with little wood clip, with little shelving clips, anything like that. I've actually got these with heavy duty brackets and bolts. You can just see one down there, look. There we go, it's mounted. That one's mounted into the wood because obviously the floors there, but the rest of them are actually bolted to the framework, and there's another one in there. So worst case scenario, anyone runs into the side of the van, or we have a crash, it goes over, something like that, this stuff is not going to fly around and injure any of the passengers. It's all going to stay in place. The fridge, it's bolted here. It's got 2 bolts holding it there, and underneath, sorry, just knocked my camera off then. Just under here, that's the anchor bolts again, bolt to the framework, and we've got some more anchor bolts here. We've got 2 more there as well, which secures the fridge to the shelving unit. It won't move anywhere, that it won't rattle. I've also got security feature, which I'm not really going to discuss because it'll let a few secrets out of the bag. Basically, I've fiddled with a bit of the wiring. I put some switches here and there, and if I park this van up, no one can steal it. Basically, you can't access the OBD, you can't access the ECU, you can't access the fuel pump, stuff like that. So I'm pretty confident no one can take this van at all. I've fiddled with the wiring. The OBD has been removed, okay, the OBD, because this is one thing that thieves go for down there. I've left the panel off, so anybody who's peering into the van can see there's no OBD there at least. They won't. They'll think twice about taking it. But I've removed the OBD. It still has it. I've cut off all the cables from the OBD, switched them around, and reconnected them into another connector. I think it's an 18-pin connector, something like that. I've done that. I've made like a fly lead cable. So if I want to use the OBD for diagnostics or tuning, something like that, I can still attach this adapter cable to it. Then it can be programmed and stuff. But I'm not going to keep that with me, and it's moved out of the way, so you cannot really plug anything into there. It's also tracked. I've got a tracker on the van. Again, I'm not going to show where that is. I'm not going to discuss which tracker it is. It's just for security reasons, stuff like that. So there are a few things. I mean, people could possibly get into the van. Where thieves do get into these is here as well. So this wiring behind here, if you cut through this wiring or crimp it, pinch it, because there's some gaps in these doors. If you pinch this wiring, it will activate the central locking, and it will open the van up. That's one thing that they do. So you can get these little metal plates which will help against it. There's another one in the side door here. They do get in by drilling holes in here or trying to get down there as well to the back of the door. So you can get plates. There's another plate here. But I've halted the wiring around so the lights don't actually go to the central locking, but the switch does activate when you open the doors. I'm not going to show how I've done that. It's all secrets of mine. If I do show you how I've done it, you could possibly get around it. I did say earlier that this is stage 1 build of the van. So what I'm going to do additionally, I'm going to have windows fitted. I'm going to have a window fitted in there I'm going to have another window fitted there. This will remain as it is, these two sides. I don't know, I may have a window fitted in them yet. I'll obviously have to remove that if I'm going to do so. I have windows fitted in the back doors here. I'm going to put additional shelves on here so it flips up. I've got the brackets for that. So I'm going to flip up shelves on there when I open the doors. I'm going to put another fold down table on there which folds down to here. I might even put another little fold up table there. This, I'm thinking of removing all this in the future, probably in the summer, and I'm going to build another cabinet to go there just like this one. Put another cabinet on there, more storage space. I don't like wasted space, so I'm going to use it all up. I'm also going to fit overhead lockers like on an aircraft as well. I'll fit some overheads on this side, but I'll leave that side as it is. The roof, I'm going to do the roof next. I've not done the roof yet because I'm going to run some additional wiring in there. I was actually thinking of putting a panoramic glass in here actually. I can do that, or a sunroof at the top there, the front. I could just practically get one out of another car, cut it out and weld it in. I was actually thinking also, I used to have a Transit 330 with a hatch rear door, XRAC one. I did prefer that as opposed to these doors. It is quite handy. They've actually got the brackets. Oh, my roof's minging in it. They've actually got the brackets on the roof here, the bracket slots for them. So I can fit a hatch rear door and get the gas struts fitted also. I've got 2 solar panels and they will go on an aluminium frame which I'm going to build later on and attach those to the roof. But I wouldn't mind the solar panels actually attached to this frame, and the frame can pull out to here, and it's got a shelter on it so it covers me for any rain, anything like that. Not that I'm going to go anywhere in the rain anyway. The front part here, the side loading door, I also want to put another pull-out shelter here. I don't want awnings attached to the side of the van. I want it all to be a little bit stealthy, so I will build another aluminium frame. I can pull out a shelter here. There's something I'm going to do perhaps later on as well, a sleeping pod I was thinking of doing. It's difficult to show you in here. I may do it, I may not, but it might be next year I do that. So basically, I open this door, the floor will lift up and fold out and drop down on some legs here, and it will all be concealed, by the way. Then I can pull out this this top shelter, and that will fold down and lock with the floor, and sides will pull out like this, and you've got yourself a sleeping pod. So it's another little compartment complete round here. I'm going to do that. It's easy if I show you it drawing or something. I will do that later on, but that's what I'm thinking of doing anyway. And I will also, like, carpet towel the platform that comes out. They will stay in here permanently, little platforms. It'll be on hinges here, so that's another good addition to it. Make it like a little stealth camper for sure then. Yes, so the power lead that comes out of the van on the other side, I want to run that to a little box I'm going to make. I may make it out of aluminium, wood, I don't know yet, but that box will have inside it a little hatch in there. Might be able to store stuff inside it, but it will have a power inverter in there as well, just like one that's inside the van. And I'll have some mains plugs on there, so I can plug have AC power stuff in there. I might put USB port on it, a little battery voltage monitor. I could even have like a cigarette lighter charger thing there, 12 volt DC outlet, stuff like that. So it's a little box I can use on the outside of the van. I can lock it up if I'm going to motocross track. I can use it for tools, stuff like that, pumps. I may even put a pump inside it, something, you know, like a little utility box. The list goes on, my mind just keeps ticking over things I want to do with it. I'm going to repaint the van, may do it black, may do it dark green, something like that, I don't know, pick a colour for it. Get some alloy wheels on it, then some stripes, stuff like that, make it look nice and cool. That's all I'm going to be doing in the van for a while now, so I'm going to have a break. I've been in here quite a lot working on it, and I'm going to do some drawings as well about what I'm going to do with the roof and how I'm going to do it, if I can do it. And then I'm going to price up some materials for the ceiling in the van, do some wiring diagrams, stuff like that. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to have a break from this. I've got bikes to build, I've got bikes to ride. I want to get out motocrossing again. The weather's starting to pick up a little bit now. I'm going to have some fun, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay in touch. Drop a few comments if you've got any pointers to things you've used for your van, or I've got any questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Stay safe, have fun. See you later.